Have you ever found yourself saying no to social invitations more often than you used to? Perhaps you look at your calendar and feel a quiet sense of relief when you realize you have an evening free. Just for yourself. It's a quiet shift, isn't it? One day you're out and about, juggling a bustling social life, and the next, the idea of a quiet evening at home, perhaps with a good book or a favorite television show, sounds infinitely more appealing than a crowded restaurant or a noisy gathering. If you've felt this subtle pull towards more solitude as you've grown older, you are absolutely not alone. In fact, it's a remarkably common experience, and it's not a sign of anything wrong with you or that you're becoming antisocial. It's often a very natural and even beneficial part of aging. But why does it happen? Why do we find ourselves avoiding people more as we get older? In this video, we're going to explore 6 fascinating psychological reasons behind this phenomenon, offering insights that might just change how you view your own evolving social world. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you, and perhaps even offer a new sense of peace about this natural progression. Let's dive right in with the very first reason, which scientists call socio-emotional selectivity theory. Now, don't let the fancy name scare you off. It's quite simple and truly insightful. As we age, our perception of time naturally shifts. When we're young, time feels limitless, stretching out ahead of us like an endless road. We're often focused on expanding our horizons, meeting new people, building broad networks, and gathering information. But as we get older, our perspective changes. We become more aware that our time is precious and finite, and this realization profoundly influences our priorities. We start to focus less on the quantity of social interactions and more on the quality. It's like we've spent a lifetime collecting different kinds of fruits, and now, in our later years, we're savoring only the sweetest, ripest ones. We consciously and unconsciously choose to invest our emotional energy in relationships that are deeply meaningful, emotionally satisfying, and genuinely supportive. This means we might naturally pull back from casual acquaintances, networking events, or large, boisterous gatherings that don't offer that profound sense of connection. Instead, we gravitate towards our closest family members and lifelong friends, those cherished individuals who truly understand us, who we can be completely ourselves with, and who bring us genuine joy and comfort. It's not about rejecting people. It's about refining our social circle, prioritizing depth over breadth. You might find yourself preferring a quiet cup of tea with a beloved friend over a big dinner party with people you barely know. This isn't a sign of being antisocial. It's a sign of wisdom, of knowing what truly nourishes your soul, and choosing to spend your precious time and energy on those connections that matter most. It's about building a rich tapestry of meaningful bonds that provide genuine emotional support and happiness. This focus on quality naturally leads us to our second reason, the conservation of energy. Let's be honest, socializing, especially in large groups or new situations, can be incredibly draining, physically and mentally. Think about it: navigating conversations, remembering names, trying to keep up with multiple discussions, reading social cues, dealing with noise and crowds. It all takes a tremendous amount of effort. As we age, our energy levels naturally aren't what they once were. We might tire more easily, and our capacity for enduring long, stimulating social events diminishes. It's not a weakness. It's simply a biological reality. We have less in our social battery than we did in our younger years, and recharging takes longer. So, when faced with an invitation to a busy social event, the thought of the energy expenditure required might just outweigh the potential enjoyment. We become more selective about where we spend our energy. This often means choosing quieter, shorter interactions, or opting for activities that feel less taxing. For example, instead of a bustling family reunion that lasts all day, you might prefer a shorter, more intimate visit with a few loved ones. Or perhaps you'll choose a quiet dinner with 1 or 2 close friends over a large group outing. It's about being mindful of your limits and honoring your body's need for rest and recovery. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being smart with your finite resources and ensuring you have enough energy for the things that truly matter to you. Understanding this helps us be kinder to ourselves when we feel that familiar pull to stay home and simply conserve our precious energy. And that desire for quiet and calm brings us beautifully to our third psychological reason, an increased appreciation for solitude. For many of us, especially in our younger years, being alone might have felt like a punishment or a sign of loneliness. We were conditioned to believe that a full social calendar equated to a full and happy life. But as we mature, a profound shift often occurs. We discover the profound richness and peace that comes from spending time by ourselves. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is a feeling of wanting connection, but not having it. Solitude is a conscious, chosen state of being alone, where we find rejuvenation, introspection, and a deep sense of calm. Many older adults report that they actively cherish their alone time, using it for hobbies, reflection, creativity, or simply enjoying the quietude of their own home. It's a time to reconnect with oneself, process thoughts, and engage in activities that bring personal fulfillment without external pressures. Perhaps you found yourself enjoying your garden more, diving into a good book, working on a creative project, or simply sitting with a cup of tea, watching the world go by, and feeling completely content. This isn't because you don't like people anymore, but because you've learned to truly appreciate and derive immense pleasure from your own company. You've discovered that inner peace and self-sufficiency are incredibly rewarding. This newfound love for solitude can naturally lead to a reduction in the desire for constant social interaction. Not out of avoidance, but out of a genuine preference for a quieter, more contemplative existence. These shifts are perfectly natural, and they lead us seamlessly into our next few insights about why our social landscape changes as we grow older. Now, let's consider our fourth reason, the inevitable loss of social roles and networks that often occurs with aging. Think about the many ways our lives are structured around social interactions when we're younger. Our careers often put us in daily contact with colleagues, clients, and professional acquaintances. Raising children connects us with other parents through schools, sports, and community groups. As we transition into retirement, many of these built-in social structures simply disappear. The daily office, banter, the team projects, the lunchtime chats. They vanish. Our children grow up, move away, and start their own families, reducing the frequency of those regular family-based social outings. And, sadly, as we age, we often experience the loss of friends, family members, and even spouses, which profoundly impacts our social networks. Each loss leaves a void, and while we cherish the memories, the opportunities for interaction decrease. It's not that we're actively avoiding people, it's that the spontaneous, organic ways we used to connect diminish. The water cooler chats are gone, the school gate pickups are over, and the familiar faces in our social circles may no longer be there. This can be a challenging aspect of aging, as it requires us to be more intentional about seeking out new social connections, which can feel daunting. We might find ourselves with fewer natural opportunities to interact, and thus, we might appear to be avoiding people, when in reality, our social landscape has simply undergone a significant transformation beyond our control. Recognizing this can help us understand that sometimes the reduction in social interaction isn't a choice, but a consequence of life's natural progression. It highlights the importance of finding new avenues for connection, even if it feels a little different than what we're used to. This brings us to our fifth compelling reason, a reduced tolerance for drama and superficial small talk. As we accumulate life experience, our patience for trivialities often wears thin. We've seen enough, been through enough, and learned enough to understand what truly matters. The youthful desire to impress others, to engage in endless gossip, or to navigate complex social hierarchies tends to fade away. We become more discerning about how we spend our precious time and energy. And frankly, small talk about the weather or who's doing what can start to feel incredibly tedious. Our desire for authenticity grows stronger. We crave deep, meaningful conversations, exchanges that touch the heart, stimulate the mind, or offer genuine connection. if a social interaction doesn't offer that depth, many older adults simply aren't as willing to invest their time in it. We might find ourselves politely excusing ourselves from conversations that feel draining or superficial, or simply choosing to avoid situations where such interactions are prevalent. There's a growing appreciation for quiet presence, where you can simply be with someone without the need for constant chatter or performance. It's about protecting our peace and our emotional well-being. We've earned the right to choose who we spend our time with and what kind of conversations we engage in. This isn't a sign of being grumpy or unsociable. It's a mark of maturity and self-respect. A conscious decision to prioritize genuine connection and inner tranquility over social obligations that no longer serve us. You become less concerned with societal expectations and more focused on your own inner compass, guiding you towards what truly brings you joy and peace. And finally, our sixth and often very practical reason for avoiding people more as we age is the impact of physical and health challenges. Let's be honest, our bodies don't always cooperate the way they used to. Mobility issues, chronic pain, hearing loss, vision impairment, and a host of other health concerns can make socializing incredibly difficult and even daunting. Imagine trying to have a conversation in a noisy restaurant when you have significant hearing loss, or navigating a crowded room with a walking aid. The physical effort required just to get to an event, let alone participate comfortably, can be overwhelming. Fatigue is a common companion as we age, and even a simple outing can leave us utterly exhausted. The fear of falling, the discomfort of sitting for too long, the need for frequent bathroom breaks, or managing medications. These are all very real barriers that can make social activities feel like a burden rather than a pleasure. It's not that we don't want to see our friends or family. It's that the logistics and physical demands become too much. Sometimes, the decision to avoid a social gathering is simply a practical one, driven by our physical limitations. It's about preserving our comfort, safety, and energy levels. This can be a particularly frustrating reason, as it often means a disconnect between our desire for connection and our physical ability to achieve it. Understanding these deeper reasons helps us see that this natural tendency to withdraw is often a sign of wisdom, not weakness. And it brings us to our final thoughts, which might just shift your perspective in a powerful way. So, as we've explored together, that feeling of wanting more solitude, of perhaps gently pulling back from the constant social whirl, isn't a flaw or a sign of you becoming a recluse. Far from it. It's often a sophisticated evolution of your social needs, a testament to growing wisdom, and a natural response to the changing landscape of life as we age. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are precious, and choosing to invest them where they truly bring you joy and peace. Whether that's in deep, meaningful connections, cherished solitude, or simply conserving your energy for what truly matters to you. It's a shift from chasing external validation to cultivating inner contentment. The surprising truth, the one I promised you at the beginning, is that this natural tendency to avoid constant socialization is often a sign of healthy psychological aging. It's about learning to say no without guilt, to prioritize your well-being, and to find fulfillment in new ways. It's a profound self-awareness that allows you to sculpt a life that truly fits you, not one dictated by old habits or societal expectations. You're not withdrawing from life. You're refining it. You're creating space for deeper self-connection and for the most authentic relationships. Remember, small changes in perception can make a huge difference in how you feel about your choices. Embracing this shift can bring a tremendous sense of liberation and peace. You're simply becoming more of who you are, unburdened by the need to conform. What have your experiences been as you've aged? Do any of these psychological reasons resonate deeply with you? We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights help us all feel more connected and understood on this journey. If this video has shed some light, brought you comfort, or simply helped you understand yourself and others a little better, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for more content that celebrates and supports living your best life at every age, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We're here to share information, insights, and encouragement to help you navigate this wonderful chapter of life with grace and joy. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, growing older is an ongoing journey of discovery, of letting go of what no longer serves you and embracing what truly brings you peace and happiness. Live your best life on your terms every single day.